system are ready for the warmer temperatures to come. We offer spring cleanings to ensure your air conditioner is working at peak performance before the heat of the summer hits. Give us a call at 850-482-8802 to schedule your spring cleaning today. That's 850-482-8802.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271D in Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, Paulette Hesse, ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! And good morning, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Big John, where you been, brother? I missed you.
Yeah, well, where have I been? I've been right here waiting for you.
Well, I was on the airway. I was just somewhere else. I thought I was here, but I was somewhere else.
At least you called in and laughed.
I was trying to guess the parents somewhere, as far as you know.
Did you hear what happened to us yesterday?
Do what?
Did you hear what happened to us yesterday?
Yes, I did. I was listening as it was cut off. I was like, "What's going on?" I called Brian and asked him what's going on. I talked to Chad Mitchell. I talked to you, I think, earlier.
I think Dr. Chad Mitchell surgically removed our communications lines.
Well, if he didn't talk the entire time he's here, gets upset, and he does things like that. Yeah. You know what? Hey, I tell you, I love Chad. He did a great job. And we're talking about the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. If you have any type of injury, go see Chad Mitchell. Good morning, Jim Brandt. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
You look mighty fine.
Thank you.
You look like a skeleton. How much weight have you lost seriously?
But the thing is, when I got diagnosed, I didn't get a starting weight, but conservatively, I'd say 60 to 70 pounds I've lost.
Yeah. You look good, though. You do.
And honestly, it's not from exercising or trying to. It's just I just don't eat all the junk I used to eat, Yeah. TV was like grazing, You just get the chips and the drinks and all that, and I just don't do that anymore at all.
The American people diet, and I experienced and did it this past...
Yeah, you're a diet expert, yeah.
It was terrible, and my poor grandkids, they were eating this stuff with me. It's so bad for you. Chips, donuts. My God, I was hurting so bad. Should I tell them a story?
No.
Okay, no, I won't.
Please don't.
I won't tell that one. Ethan Boyd's in the house, Rudy's Barbecue. Ethan, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Coach. Better than you. Better than you, it sounds like.
I'm doing a little bit better, baby. A little bit better today. All right, I've got to get this in today. I wanted to start the show out, and I apologize. We've been gone. We went to Orlando with the grandkids, had a great time. And I'd like to congratulate Mark and Melinda Cowart. They are grandparents.
Yeah,
Michael
I saw that.
Had a little
beautiful baby.
Boy, a girl?
Girl. Arabella.
Arabella, that's right. Arabella Cowart. Mark Cowart's and Melinda Cowart's first grandchild.
I remember when Michael, the first game at Arnold, was about knee-high to a grasshopper.
The first time I saw him.
He was running out in the field. Remember that little football suit?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the first game, but the first year or two for sure.
No, it was the first game.
Yeah.
His brother,
Matt, he was young.
God, it's been that long. That's crazy.
Having kids
and
now.
Now he's got his own kid.
Right.
Captain Michael Cowart, Daddy. Unbelievable. Yeah. Congratulations on that. I know they're extremely excited about that. I told him, there's nothing like having a granddaughter. Y'all wait. It's great raising your own child, your own kids, but when you get your grandkids, it's even better. It's even better.
Because you can leave, right?
I never want to leave mine. I mean, people say that, but I really never want to leave mine.
Spoil them and then get them all hyped up on sugar and say, bye, kids, I love you.
I enjoy being around them all the time. I really, truly do. Now, I think Jeremy or I get tired of me being around because I always point out what they're doing wrong. Why are they feeding them that? Why are they doing that? Anyway. Can I go on? Can I go down?
Yeah.
Let's turn the page on that. Ethan, look, you're looking forward to Tommy said about telling me you love your grandkids. They're unbelievable. All right. This is our Wild Kingdom update, okay? Jim Brandt upset me because he sent me something from Marlon Perkins. What year was that, 1970?
70, I think.
1970. So I said, okay.
In the 60s and 70s, it was on TV for sure. We used to watch it all the time.
And what was the big guy, the guy with him? That was
Jim Fowler, the one that had to do all the...
Jim did the work.
Yeah. Well, I talked to the people about Mutual of Omaha. You go down there and castrate that wild boar, okay? I'll be right back.
And I'll be sitting here with this commercial from Mutual of Omaha.
Mutual of Omaha.
That's some
That's
good
exactly
stuff,
right.
man. That was some good stuff. All right. What state? This is pretty easy. What state has the most gators? Let's start with Ethan first. What state has the most gators in the world? Not we're talking about alligators. Not in the United States, but in the world. That's the key, the world. But it is a state. United States is pretty easy.
Australia.
Louisiana.
I would say Australia.
That's a different state. Australia's not one of ours, is it yet?
No.
Oh,
They don't have enough
you said
Democrats yet.
state.
Then
I thought you
they'll
said in
turn
the
it
world. I thought he
Yeah,
said
he
in
said
the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I did say it's in the States. I meant to say that. Ethan, you quit looking it up.
No, I said Louisiana.
All right, what do you think?
I'd say Louisiana or not Alabama, but Florida. Florida or Louisiana.
Yeah.
But you choose.
John, what do you think?
Just for
Kentucky?
no, I'm going to say Texas. Just for the heck
Texas.
of it.
Hey, good point. Good, because a lot bigger state. They do have
Yeah.
gators.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh, well.
All right, here we go. The answer is correct, my son. Ethan Boyd, you got an A&M degree. What did you graduate from? Marshall? Tucker? Akron? Akron is the dang.
Harvard of the North, right?
Not really. Not really. Southern Mississippi
This
is the
is
heart of
to
the
come
South.
from somebody who went to Southern Miss.
The heart of the South. Louisiana, the great state of Louisiana, has the largest alligator population in the world. In the world. There are 2 million alligators in the wild. Now, do they go out and count every one of them? Our swamp people might have done that.
Yeah. TV purposes.
2 million alligators and another $1 million they're captured in zoos, park, whatever you want to call about it. So you got about 3 million, a little over 3 million alligators in Louisiana. There's also 1.3 million in this great state of Florida, which is second in the world. Where are they? Well, in Louisiana, you have coastal marshland, 3 million acres. They're there. Swamp, the cypress swamp has 750,600 acres. There's a lake. There's a lake that has 32,125 acre, and it's a park there. It's called Lake Martin. There's more gators gathered there than anywhere else, and they are up to 1,000 pounds, 12 foot, 13 foot, anywhere from 750 to over 1,000 pounds.
Those are kind of you hunt, right?
That's the kind that got my hand. That's the gator that's still there that got my hand. But anyway, I was just, because we always talk about gators and everything. There's some still stuff going on. I'm not getting all that, but that I didn't know that. I really thought Florida with the Everglades would have more gators than anywhere else, but no. The most anywhere in the world is a great state of LSU. Why would not LSU be called the Fighting Gators instead of Florida?
Makes more sense.
Yeah. We got a caller? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's take it. Do I know who it is? I bet I do. I bet it's that Tennessee Volunteer. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Coach, and welcome back. I hope things are going well with your health and your family's health.
I
know your back's good and all that.
Thank you, buddy. We're going through something right now. I'll tell you about it later, but we're fighting through it.
I think I know a little bit about it, not a lot. But hey, did you teach AP biology or animal husbandry?
I did all the above. I have several master's degrees, a doctorate in knowledge.
Animal husbandry.
You can't spell masters.
I'm highly intelligent.
I got a quick gator story for you from Lake Seminole. Which
Tell me, baby. I love it. Tell it. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, these two boys were in a canoe about 30 years ago, and they just brought back hunting, because the gator population was good. And the one up front was saying, "Is that a gator?" He kept asking the guy in the back who had a Minn Kota trolling motor. And the guy in the back said, "No, that's not a gator. That's a log." Well, a boy in the back looked up, and the guy up front wasn't looking where he was. And there was this is no lie. There are many over 12-foot gators in that lake.
I believe.
And there was one coming at them. And I don't know. I don't think a canoe can handle a gator. Not one of them plastic ones.
You're right.
Way.
But
right.
Anyway, hope everything's well. What are you hearing out of the? Well, I don't want to interrupt with your show, except to interrupt it. But it's getting time to say Florida State. But
Woo!
Yeah, thank you. You know where the girls are the fairest, though, and the guys are the squarest.
Yeah.
That's at Florida.
Florida State.
Yeah, well, you know who can whip them both?
Who's that?
The girls from Tennessee, them hillbillies.
I tell you what, man, the great state of Tennessee, the Tennessee Volunteers have a heck of a year. They got a lot going on now. They just lost 3 baseball games. Who beat them? Arkansas?
They're back. They're back. And I tell you, an indicator that Tennessee was headed downhill is that the quote other sports other than football, Tennessee used to be very nationally competitive in track and swimming and everything, and they just kind of let it go. I guess
lack of leadership,
football focus. Well, now Fulmer was a pretty good football leader, but I don't know. Well, Darrell Dickey was a great athletic director, but it just seemed like, and I'm going to call out a great name here, but when Peyton got up there, and then they won the national championship after he left, it's like it just sucked all the air out of the other programs. I mean, it's until last year, which they didn't make it. They were number 1 in baseball. It was the year before they went to the College World Series, but it's been almost 20 years since they've been to the College World Series. And
Mike, I want to ask something because you're up there with me. What Bill Battle? Do you think they pulled the trigger on him too quickly? Good looking, smart guy. He beat Bama.
Yeah, you bring up a sore point with me. The 2 Alabama coaches that we've had, people undermined them or weren't patient enough. At least, I don't want to get all suspicious, but they weren't patient enough with he or Jeremy Pruitt, in my opinion. And they were good coaches. And, of course, Battle landed on his feet with collegiate license and apparel and all that. He made millions. But they weren't patient enough with him. I mean, he had a good season. He had a really good season, on the Sugar Bowl his first year, I think.
Yeah.
And but they said, well, that's Dickey's players. Well, Dickey couldn't win the Gator Bowl with his players, you know. So
and he played Condredge Holloway at quarterback. Back then, when that people were going crazy because they had a black quarterback in the SEC. You remember that? I think he was the first one to start.
Hey, Condredge, they wrote a song about him, but he's from Alabama. He came to Tennessee because
Huntsville.
Coach Bryant. Well, we recruited. Tennessee recruited North Alabama pretty well back in the day. In fact, and Alabama did the border counties too, because Fraley, the agent that died in the plane crash with Payne Stewart, he went to the same high school that Fulmer did. And and Fulmer was, I'm sure, was recruited by Coach Bryant. He probably didn't want to talk about it too much. Either one of them did, but Fulmer was a really fine offensive lineman there at Franklin County.
Yes, he was.
But anyway, we're a lot of reminiscing. What do you think about the Tide basketball team?
I have to tell you what, man, I was really pleased. It was really great for the city of Birmingham. They were listen. It was packed outside the arena 2 hours before they let them in.
Wednesday,
it was crazy.
Birmingham.
It was crazy. It was a big deal. The packed out. The energy was unbelievable. The Auburn first half of the Auburn game, they said it was unbelievable. Then it kind of, then it blew up on Auburn. Then Alabama played really well both games. They looked good.
I quit on Auburn, and they won the first game. It kind of hurt my bracket a little bit, but I like Auburn. I like Coach Pearl. But
what about Tennessee? What about Tennessee winning?
Tennessee, they have to get arrested for the way they play. They're rough. But they did what they had to. They were talking about that on the radio. They said this is men playing boys. Duke had gone for that one and done stuff, and Tennessee had guys that had been there for several years or at other places.
Yeah.
But Tennessee, if they can slow you down and strangle you, they can beat you.
Well, I just glad we got a lot of SEC teams still involved in it. It just means more here, especially in the SEC West.
3, same as the Big East.
Yeah, A&M.
3 more than the Big Ten, right?
No, Big Ten's got 1.
Oh,
sorry, Ethan. Big Ten has been very overrated this year. Now there was a time when the Big
Ten's always overrated. You know that, especially in basketball.
Be honest with them. Come on. They had Bobby Knight, but that's been a while.
I love Bobby Knight. I did
too. I actually. I think he's got dementia. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah,
it's sad, but
he's up there now. How is he? 80?
Well, I saw him at a fundraiser for a small college, and he came in and talked. He wouldn't talk about Indiana at all because he was on the outs with them. Yeah. He talked about coaching Jordan in the United States Olympic team in '84, and talked about a few other things, and then he turned around and endorsed the check that the small college gave him to talk to him back to the college.
Oh,
that's the kind of guy.
Great man.
He's don't get on his bad side now.
Yeah.
But when he wants to do something, he's going. He was a stand-up guy. Or is a stand-up
Bobby
guy.
Knight was a football coach coaching basketball. Hey, Mike, we got to take a break, brother. We love you.
All right. Good
Thank
to have
you.
you back.
Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Jim, we're one day away from what? World famous J. Michael.
Spaghetti.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Cannot wait. He looks so excited.
Bobby Knight's 82. I just looked it up.
I've always liked Bobby Knight. I always enjoyed watching him play. He was Woody Hayes of college basketball. He'd throw the chairs. He'd go crazy. And he won. He
ran off Larry Bird. Okay, I'm just saying.
Well, we all make mistakes. I mean, heck.
Yeah, but was Larry Bird really, that good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, was Larry Bird really that good? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
All
Just
right.
kidding.
We can get in that conversation before I get in trouble. Hey, let's talk about Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. You want to have a great meal. You want to have a football banquet, basketball banquet, a party. Rudy Tootie's back room, Lord Layton's back room is a great place to do it. Rudy Tootie's on Back Beach Road. How's it going?
It's good. Spring break's rolling.
crazy.
Yeah, spring break's rolling and kind of just getting closer and closer. Obviously, Easter's the next holiday, and we're all right into summer.
I tell you what. I tell you that we've been having this weather. It's been crazy.
Yeah, you're not
Remember
kidding.
a couple weeks, it was like summertime.
Yep.
And now it's like wintertime.
Yep.
But you don't have to worry about it when you got Stevenson air conditioning. Even if it breaks down, you don't have to worry about it. All you got to do is call the local legend, and that's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Call Jason's, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Local people serving locals. They'll take care of you in Northwest Florida. They do an incredible job. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Buffalo Rock. Jimbo, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, as are you.
So I'm with you, brother. Ethan, what do you got? What is that?
That's a Mountain Dew.
Okay, good. We'll be right back with Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. All you great people, Mariana, 102.1, and also 101.9 Port St. Joe. Be right back. Hope we'll get Rutherford baseball coach Coffin on. If not, we'll get back to the Gators. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Never smile at a crocodile. No, you can't get friendly with a crocodile. Don't be taken in by his welcome grin. He's imagined.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
Come see premier professional wrestling with the American Machine, Chief Little Bear, Mr. 850, and exciting women's wrestling with Raven Knight and T-Games. Saturday, April 29th, Wrestling Against Cancer number 8.
Number 8.
At the Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Proceeds benefit Donna Duncan.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
Tuesday weather forecast for the entire listening area. Mostly sunny today. Temperatures will be flirting with about 70. An east wind 10 to 15. And the water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear around 52 tonight. Mostly sunny Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the mid to upper 70s each afternoon. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's, Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do it, baby. What stadium is this played in? And the people go completely crazy. Jim Brandt, what is it?
Every single one of them.
I have no idea.
And Ethan Boyd, SEC West team. War Eagle. Man, that place goes crazy.
When they play the Eye of the Tiger?
Oh, my, yeah, that's a big deal there, baby.
Man, because, LSU, Tigers.
Yeah, that's what I was
Auburn Tigers.
That's valid.
I know, LSU
but
copied us.
Touche.
LSU, Auburn's always a Tiger. LSU used to be the Gators, and they changed it. So y'all got to look at history.
Why are you fascinated with Gators? There was a 55-foot gator ate a 55,000-year-old woman.
If you went through what I went through
in Slocum, Alabama, you should have been there.
Listen, if you were with us and the Swamp People, you would know why I'm that way. Let's take this phone call. I think we got Coach on it. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Gators.
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Man, Doc, I couldn't be doing better. How was your spring break? And, we haven't talked to you in a while. Tell us what's been going on. Where did you guys play during spring break? Tell us the scores. I know you're rebuilding the program over there. You're doing a great job. Give us a breakdown of what everything's going on at Rutherford High School.
So, yeah, right before spring break, we played Bay High that Friday night. And we ended up getting the win there. I think it was 11-7.
Great. Good job. Big rival game. Good job.
Yeah, that was good. And then spring break, we were supposed to play on Tuesday, and then we had to cancel that game, unfortunately. But then right back the Monday after spring break last night, we played Mariana. Very competitive game. We were up 2-0, and they ended up getting us 3-2 there at the very end. Our guys played tough and hung in there, and I'm proud of how they've been playing.
That's great, Coach. Man, Mariana's pretty doggone good now. If I remember correctly, I think they're pretty good this year.
Yeah, they had a talented team. I think they came into that game 8-2, so it was good. A good showing for our guys. Wish we came up on the winning end, but
all right, go back to last. I know when you had all those days off. How did you handle practice? What did you let the kids do? Did you give anybody some time off? Did you get an opportunity to get away for a couple days?
Yeah, we gave them some time off. Had a few practices mixed in there, and tried to keep the guys sharp with also letting them enjoy their spring break at the same time. Good.
I hope you got rested up. I hope you're ready to go. What's going on the rest of this week? Who you got coming up next, and when, where, and who?
Bay High right again on Friday night. Hopefully the same result as last time.
So now, are they coming to your place this Friday? Or are you going over there?
They came to us last time, so this one's over there at Bay.
Now that's kind of, I mean, y'all playing kind of back to back. That's kind of unusual. How did that happen? Just the way the schedule worked out this year, or what?
Yeah, I think just the way the dates worked out, what they had available at the time, and I mean, I kind of like it. You might see a different pitcher than you usually would having a long break or something like that. So I like it.
I was going to ask you that. You play them, you beat them. Your kids got to have some confidence. And I was going to ask you, do you have any idea who they will pick? We'll ask Hudson tomorrow. We'll say it's secret. You can listen, get an edge on him. But really,
I'll be eavesdropping.
Yeah, make sure you listen. But really, what do you think they'll do differently than last game?
We saw them in the preseason. They kind of had the same strategy both games. They have 2 or 3 pretty good arms, and they like to go 2 or 3 innings at a time, it seems like. You kind of mix it around. So a couple of times through the lineup each, so we got to stay ready for all 3 guys that we've seen so far.
Oh, I got to ask you a question now. You've coached baseball. You've been doing this for a while. What is going on with the Florida High School Athletic Association, this pitch count? I heard the situation at Mosley. Have you heard anything? I hadn't talked to Doug or anybody. I've been tied up with some personal things right now, but I'm going to try to get to it. They're suspending coaches if a guy has the pitch count is messed up? I mean, is there a number? Like if he pitched 1 too many, 10 too many? What's going on with that? What do you know about that?
I don't know much about the specificity to that situation, but yeah. So the pitch count's been around for a couple years now. It's just based on how many pitches you throw in a certain night, and it coordinates with the rest that a kid has to have after that. So, like last night, our guy, he's a 15-year-old who we threw last night. His max was 95, so he went right up to that max last night, and now he has to have four days of rest corresponding with that. So it just really depends on how many pitches you throw, and it lines up with a certain amount of rest you have to have after that.
All right, let me ask you this. How would the Florida High School Athletic Association know if you broke a rule or not? I mean, how do y'all monitor this? Do you have to send something to the state? I mean, your kid pitched 90 pitches, he can only do 94. You got to rest him for 4 days. How would anybody know if you broke the rule?
So the stats they go into max prep, so the number of pitches is on there. So I don't know how closely the FHSA monitors that, but I think it would have to be either a self-report or the other team, your opponent that night, or the opponent the next game, watching it closely and maybe reporting it as well. Okay, so now I get it. Yeah, after a game, not only do you have to report the score, now you have to report, I guess there's a form there you fill out and send it on the computer, and then they have it on record. Is that what I'm hearing? It's just like the box score. It goes in there on max preps, and okay. The home team has the official scoring there, so the number of pitches is on there, and like if I threw the guy over 95 pitches last night, the opponent could report that violation, and we could end up having to forfeit that game as well. That was my next question. If you do get caught with that, I guess you forfeit those victories, correct? Right. Yes. Wow. That's the first time, we talked about the new rules a couple years back on the show, and this is the first time I've heard of somebody kind of, get in trouble over this. In different states, I don't know if they have that in Alabama and Georgia and Mississippi. Do you know if they have in other states? Yeah, I'm not sure if they have that in the other states. I know it's pretty common all throughout. Do you like this rule? Do you personally like this rule? Personally, I'm kind of in between about it. I think it does help monitor the guy's arms, and it prevents somebody from being overworked. So that's a really good aspect of it. And that's ultimately the goal, is to not overwork these kids and keep them healthy, especially if they have aspirations to play at the next level. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for the information this morning. Keep getting them kids better over there at Rutherford. You're doing a heck of a job. You're building the program up. Pretty proud of what you're doing. And good luck this Friday at home, right? At home versus Bay High School. What time's the game start? Away at Bay High School. You're at Bay. Okay, you're at Bay. Okay. Sure. Now, hey, in baseball, do y'all split the gate, or how does that work for us baseball? I can't remember. Do y'all split the gate in football, or what? No, just home team gets it. Home team gets it. Okay, good. Well, Coach, thanks so much, buddy. You have a good week, okay? Hey, thanks for having me on as always. You guys have a great week. Appreciate it, buddy. Really do. Great job. Jim, can you, I don't know if I could coach baseball. All that dang paperwork you got to do, and the pitch count. Self-report and pitch counts. I understand. Maybe they abused the players in the past, but I hate having all these different rules. I guess in football, they're going to start counting how many times a guy throws a football. I mean, you start doing how many hits, how many hits does a quarterback take. You know what I mean? But that's wild. Yeah. How many bullets you got in your gun? It's got to be rubber. And here's my thing. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but so you're going to leave up the max preps to police. How many teams play baseball in the state of Florida? That's how they do the playoffs. No, I know. Max preps ranks you, and that's to me that's crazy. We got to talk. The governor straightened the state out every other way. We got to get him look into this. This is communism. We've got to get back to the old ways. District playoff games, the top two teams go. We don't need people to be voted in. The machine was rigged. Yeah. Anyway, I feel. Did y'all hear about that coach at Mosley? No. Being suspended? No, I did not. I was shocked. The head coach got suspended? Yes, because of the pitch count. Yeah. And if I'm wrong, call in. I've been told this. I looked it up, saw some things, and of course we've been out. But I hate that, man. That's crazy. Maybe in Georgia they didn't even have the pitch count. I don't know. I just think it's just we got a lot of rules. You know the coaches love those kids, and they're not going to try to get a kid hurt by overthrowing him. And you got to know too, if you're a baseball coach and you got a pitcher who can really pitch,
like a Shane Funk back in the day when we were at Arnold, who can really pitch. I mean, who's really good. Why would you want to wear him out to the point where he's not going to be good?
Yeah.
When you really need him. I mean,
say you're at 95 and you look at him, he's having a great night, not hurting. He can't throw the ball one more time. Just give him 90. I don't know if I'm for. Maybe the baseball experts will know more about this than us.
Let's get Doug Lee in here.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We asked Chad Mitchell about this Monday. Next Monday, he did a great job yesterday. We have him on Monday. Next Monday, I'm going to ask him about this pitch count. What's his thoughts on this? But Chad does an incredible job. If you get any type of injury, call Chad Mitchell. Go by and see him. Make an appointment. The guy does an incredible job. The legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. El Rodeo, the Tequila Bar and Grill. If you want that Mexican food, there's no place better. Right across the street from the Navy base right here on Thomas Drive. They got $5 pitchers. You buy one small margarita, draft beer, house wine. The next one's free. Happy hour 3 to 7. Lunch specials every day. El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill. I think you'll really enjoy that. I really do. Chuck Tucker, we love you, brother. The great ones. Beth Mulvey, Mark Coward, the biggest of the biggest, the greatest of the greatest realtors all want Chuck Tucker. They know there's never a surprise. They know it's always done right and professionally the first time. That's South Oak Title and Closing. That's Chuck Tucker. There's offices throughout Northwest Florida. And again, congratulations to Mark and Coward, Melinda Coward, grandparents for the first time. Michael, we love you. Congratulations on your beautiful daughter. We'll be right back. Big John Wildcats in the black glass room. Got him caged up back there. Ethan Boyd, Rudy Tootie's Barbecue, Jim Durant. We get back, John. Listen to me. We get back. Let's do FSU. Brought to you by the one and only Jim Durant. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
For the first time in school history, Princeton is going to the Sweet 16.
Listen to the men.
The 8th seed knocks out the returning champion Jayhawks.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And that right there is the explanation point.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family has movement that inspires, and we invite you to test drive the new 2023 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You can command the road in a sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2023 Rio, Forte, K5, or Stinger, and discover the all-new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. Peace of mind you can trust at your local community dealer, Bill Bird Kia.
Spring is upon us here on the coast. There's pollen in the air and the daily temperatures are on the rise. It's when we all start thinking about those longer, warmer days. This is Todd Woodall of Woodall's Total Comfort Systems, and we want to make sure you and your air conditioning system are ready for the warmer temperatures to come. We offer spring cleanings to ensure your air conditioner is working at peak performance before the heat of the summer hits. Give us a call at 850-482-8802 to schedule your spring cleaning today. That's 850-482-8802.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. Visit their feed store at the Youngstown location for all of your livestock feed, plumbing, electrical, lawn, and garden needs. They also carry local Chautauqua wines, baby chicks, and a full line of poultry supplies to get your chicks started off right. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Speaking of Florida State, I'm so happy. I saw Big John yesterday, John McVeigh. He was in the steam room. I walked by and he opened the door and yelled. And he is wonderful, wonderful man. But his beautiful wife, I love Charlotte. She is not only gorgeous, she didn't age. Neither one. I'll be honest with you. Neither one of them aged. John still. You've seen John. He still looks really good. He works out. He plays racquetball. Takes care of himself. He hadn't gained any weight. He looks just like he did in college. Looks really good. But Sean's absolutely gorgeous. But she's such a sweetheart. She loves people. She takes care of people. The employees there love them, and they do such a wonderful job at Newbies. Get out to Newbies. Have a great time. They're having a really, really good spring break, by the way. I mean, it's a legendary place. Everybody comes in town. They all know they're going to be at Newbies before they go back home. They just love Newbies. It's one of the best places you can go in the Southeast. Legendary Newbies, 3 great locations, but the mothership, they also got food now, the best bands in the Southeast. Get out to Newbies. We're down here now vacationing, and you listen to what's going on. Make sure you try it out. I think you'll really enjoy Newbies. Newbies 2 on the Curve. If you want to watch the NCAA basketball tournaments that's going on, go there, watch that. Bama will be playing Friday. I know we all care about that. Roll Tide. All right, FSU update brought to you by Newbies. Jim Bob, what do you have for us today?
All right, here's what we got at Florida State. We're going to start the women's basketball. They did make the tournament. They had a pretty good season. They played the Georgia Bulldogs last week. Unfortunately, Georgia got the better of them, 66-54. So the Lady Seminoles are out. Did much better than the men's team did this year. We only won like about 10, 11 games, something like that. Baseball is still scoring a lot of runs. They're 12-8. They're 9-5 at home, 3-3 on the road. Their next game is today at 7:00. So if there's any Seminole fans out there want to slide over to Tallahassee and see them play the Gators, who are, I'm not sure what their ranking is, but I'm sure they're in the top 10 in baseball. They always are. Mark McCloud will probably tell you more about that tomorrow. But yeah, they're playing the Gators tomorrow in Tallahassee at Dick Hauser Field. So that's that. They're 12-8 in baseball. They're doing pretty well. Softball is doing very well. Overall, they're 24-6. But as I mentioned last week, 4 of those losses are five of those losses are the top 10 teams. I mean, as elite as you can get: Oklahoma State, UCLA, Alabama, and
their schedule is probably the toughest in the country in softball. The
thing that's very misleading about Florida State softball is they play 30 games, but 21 of them have been in Tallahassee. So they're 20-1 at home. When they go on the road to play these really tough teams in tournaments or actually going to the other venue,
right?
They're having a little bit of a tough time, but they're very good. They always are. I'm sure they'll finish up very well too. So
I'm looking forward to that baseball game. I really am. Florida Gators, they're really good. They're a talented team. They're 2-1 in the SEC. They're 18-4 overall.
Well, there you go.
I'm sure they're going to. You would think they. His pitching, the way he does his pitching during the week in his non-conference games, a little bit different. Mark always told us about that.
Yeah.
But you would think playing Florida State, you'd have your best one. You would think. But the SEC is probably more important. But Florida State, they recruit the same players. Florida State probably going to have their. You would think, this is just me, both best pitchers will be going against each other. That would be a great game. I have not been to a baseball game in Florida State, and I want to go. Jeremy and Tommy were talking about we're going to try to go to one this year. You're going to go to the SEC tournament, right?
Yeah.
Have you been to a baseball game at Florida State?
At Florida State, yeah. I went to a game when they played Clemson. This is back in the 90s when I went to a Florida State football clinic, and they were playing Clemson that same day. And I went. It's a good environment. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. They got nice facilities.
They got the roof stadium and everything, nice stands.
Don't burn up.
That was a long time ago. It was a night game, too.
And Gainesville used to, it was bad. Yeah, they got a new park now. It's a lot better. In the old days, man, he's just fried out there.
So.
Yeah.
And then, we still got the LSU, Florida State, talk all summer. That's how it's going to turn out. I still think LSU may come in there and even the score. But like we said, this season, football season, Florida State's got a very good record against LSU overall. I want to say they're like 9-1, something like that, 9-2. I was surprised how many times they've beaten LSU. So that'll be a big game.
Thank you, Bobby Bowden. That's when they go anywhere, play anybody, do anything.
Exactly.
I want to get back to that LSU Florida State football game. They had consistent. They've got all these different polls we've been talking about preseason. It's getting really kind of ridiculous. Preseason poll before winter workouts.
Yeah.
After winter workouts. Pre-spring, like we are now, they've got the newest one, and they combined all the experts' opinion about this coming up year. And they put them all together, throw them in a hat, give them their points. This is your top 10 right here. Number 1, we all know who it is, the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's go back from the bottom, work our way up. Number 10, Washington. They think Washington's going to have a really good team. This is combining everybody's thought process. Washington, it comes in at number 10. You know who number 9 is? Out of the SEC East. Tennessee.
Yep.
They got Tennessee number 9. Number 8 out of the SEC West. LSU. And number 7 out of the ACC, FSU. So you combined all these experts pre-season, pre-spring football practice. Alabama started yesterday practice. So a lot of people are practicing now. But they got FSU 7th in the nation. You know the build-up to this game is going to be incredible. It's a Sunday night. Nobody else is playing. The whole world's going to watch. It's going to help both schools in recruiting, no doubt about that. This is going to be a great football game. And I go back. This could be a great thing for the winner, and it could really damage the loser because let's just say FSU loses a close game to LSU. They lose to Clemson, and they make the playoffs. I mean, they make the ACC championship game. Then they can revenge that. They're in the playoffs with 2 losses. That's the only way. If they get 2 losses and don't win the ACC, depending on what else happens in college football, they have a great year, play 13 regular season games, and be 11-2 and not make the playoffs, which is BS. Say they lose to Clemson twice, and Clemson's undefeated or whatever. I just pick the 4 best teams. Let's don't have any more TCUs in there getting their butts kicked like they did against Georgia, 65 to whatever it was. That was ridiculous. But anyway, that's going to be a big game. Number 6, who is it from the West Coast?
UCLA, USC?
They're in the Big Ten now. Yeah, USC. Southern Cal's going to be good. Year 2 is always a lot better than year 1. They had a great year in year 1. Penn State is number 5, Big Ten schools. Number 4 out of the SEC.
Bama?
Yeah, I don't like that. Alabama, number 4. Number 3 out of the Big Ten. They have been replaced as the power of the Big Ten.
Either Ohio State or Michigan.
Ohio State, yeah. The best program in the Big Ten now. Compare. That's what all the experts, not me. The experts say Michigan is number 2, and the Georgia Bulldogs will win 3 in a row. Kirby Smart will get it done. They've got them as number 1 team in the country. So that's your combined, all the experts' opinions, preseason top 10, which doesn't mean squat. You could have you can go through spring and be thinking, hey, we got a really good football team. And all of a sudden, your backups go somewhere else. In the game start, you get somebody hurt, your backups are gone, you're in trouble. This college football has changed so much now, it's crazy. Florida State, their guys are all coming. A lot of their guys are coming back. A lot of them didn't transfer, and he's bringing good people in. Would it shock you, or let me ask this, do they have a chance to win a national championship?
Who, Florida State?
Yes.
They have a chance, but they're going to have their work cut out for them, because not that Clemson's that great of a team. They're very good, but they play Clemson at Clemson again. They got them over there, and they haven't been able to get over that hump of beating them there. When they start beating Clemson on a regular basis, I think that'll really put them over the top.
Remember there was a stretch here last year we said they got to win 1 or 2 of these games.
And
they lost all 3
right in a row in the middle.
They lost them all.
I think the hard thing, too, with the ACC this year is you're most likely playing a team twice.
That's
that
different
hurts.
now.
If Alabama had played Georgia in the regular season and then play them again in the SEC championship, just like they did 2-3 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
Beating a team twice is hard.
And you just beat them.
Yeah.
You just beat them in the SEC championship.
So if you
that's the reason we have counted one more national championship because of that, what you said. Yeah. We're going to just count that as for Bama's national championship. We should have not had to play it. But then again, we beat LSU the same way. LSU beat us. We had to beat LSU.
Right. So I think it's just one of those things that goes against Florida State.
What's your thought? We got about a minute. What do you think? I think they can.
They have a shot for sure.
I
think if you said, hey, these 6 teams, these 8 teams can win it all, they'd be on my list.
And the reason being that quarterback. When you got a quarterback coming back, that's a big deal, man.
The line, defensive end, they came back.
And they got depth now?
Yeah.
They got a shot.
They got a shot.
We're going to know everything because LSU, baby. Yeah. LSU's loaded. LSU's going to be good in year 2.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch that football game. And it is going to be on Sunday night with the whole world watching. LSU, Florida State, in Orlando, Florida. Hot, humid, I guarantee.
What time's the kick?
It'll be 7 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock. I guarantee you, That time of year, they always have a storm. Hopefully, there's a storm before the game. But Alabama played Louisville down there. It happened during the game, so we'll see. But be prepared for that. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Let's talk about Blue Sky Express Car Wash. You want that car to look brand new. We went down to Orlando and had to take care of some stuff, and we're going to get our car wash soon. And guess where we're going, people? Blue Sky Express Car Wash, because I went there once, and that's the only place I'm going to go. You try it, you'll be back. Ethan, am I telling it like it is?
Yeah.
The place is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's on the way to Rudy's Barbecue.
Yep.
You get nothing better. Get your car washed, go to Rudy's Eat, come back, get it washed again. Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road and Blue Sky Express Car Wash. I do want to thank John Sharp for the FSU update. Thank you guys so much. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. And if you're listening throughout Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. Hopefully we'll get the legend on here tomorrow at 7:30. Hopefully we'll have Coach Dr. Ward, the Gator man.
Coaching his son, right?
Yes, he is, over in South Walton. All you fine people in South Walton, I hope you guys having a spring break over there and have a good time. All right, we'll be right back. Ethan Boyd. Ethan, before we get out, say a little bit about Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road.
Yeah, just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Doing breakfast tacos right now, then we'll go over to brisket and turkey.
We'll be right back. This is the Rudy Tootie's Network on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
On target, right hand follow. Alba, perfectly timed right block.
Listen to the men.
And the Tide are up 17.
March Madness continues.
And that'll do it. The Knights have slain the Dragon.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
3, top of the key.
Tuesday weather forecast for the entire listening area. Mostly sunny today. Temperatures will be flirting with about 70. An east wind 10 to 15. And the water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear around 52 tonight. Mostly sunny Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the mid to upper 70s each afternoon. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Broadcasting live from the Redneck Riviera. It's the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out.
I'll tell you what, some breaking.
Did he win the Oscar? How come Elvis didn't get the Oscar?
I said the other day, and you said, be careful. They're not. The woke is not going to give an award to about a story about a white man from the South. That ain't going to happen. I'm sorry. It's the way it is.
Can't we just all get along?
Yeah. It was the International Movie Theater Awards.
It always is.
Yeah. If you're an American, you didn't get anything. All right. Elvis Presley, March 16th, which is my birthday in 1957. That's the year I was born. Guess what Elvis did on that day? What did his parents do on that day? They announced that they had found their home. They found Graceland. That's when they got Graceland. So we have a connection, Elvis and I.
Yeah, you are Elvis.
Yeah. All right, I want to get back to Mosley baseball. Mosley baseball, Coach Howard. He's coached over 42 years, I believe. And he coached in the great state of Georgia, which they don't have that rule. They don't have that pitch count rule. So they're going to suspend him for 12 months, fine him $500 for pitching a kid one day too soon, correct?
Correct.
And they're going to appeal it, I hope.
Yeah, I think it's in the process of being appealed now.
Yeah, and I hope they let him come back.
That seems like a pretty severe penalty for your first time, especially if they self-reported. Hey, we made a mistake, and then they whack you for a year. Yeah. Okay, let me just be devil's advocate. So what's the motivation to ever self-report anything ever again if you know you're going to get suspended for a year?
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Yeah,
Well, sir, what else can you tell us about the Mosley baseball pro? I mean, why would you ever do that? I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just my take.
I'm with you.
They
didn't have that rule in Georgia. I can see that. And this was early in the year.
Yeah.
Wow. What was it? What happened? Auburn?
Yeah,
high school?
The tournament was in Auburn.
Yeah. Well, how many pitches did the kid have?
Yeah, through 68.
68
on Friday.
And they waited. He came back and pitched one day too early.
Yeah,
got him over the count.
Is it he can't pitch an X amount of pitches or just X amount of days?
Like if you're in a certain range, so if you pitch between 61 and 75 pitches, you had to wait.
Oh,
you had to wait 3 days.
You would look like they would fine him the first time you find somebody, you do something else again, then you suspend
him.
I
agree.
Especially when a guy coming in from out of state, his first year.
That's pretty severe.
Yeah. This guy's a class act gentleman. He is not.
12 months. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's a whole, yeah.
That's a long time.
I hope they appeal it, and I hope they win it. This is crazy. Anyway. All right, Ethan, your great school, Texas A&M. You and your beautiful wife graduate from Texas A&M. Highly intelligent people. Academics there are really, really up there with Southern Mississippi. So what is, not Akron. So what's the deal? What's going on with you guys? I know spring football has kicked in.
Yeah, spring football is going on. Basketball, obviously, got upset. We were a 7 seed in March Madness, and so we lost to 10 seed Penn State. Girls did not even make the tournament, so that was not a good. So basketball just wasn't a great ending for A&M. Baseball played number 1 at LSU, so I can't really be too upset. We won Sunday's game, but we lost Friday night and Saturday. So we took 1 of 3 against them, which LSU's a better team, so I'll take 1 victory on that. Just kind of going through the spring sports. Obviously, softball's kicking on right now. We're pretty much at 500 there, so. Win some, we're winning about 1 of 3 on the SEC, winning our Tuesday games. So, doing all right. Just kind of plug along through spring sports now.
Well, Bobby Petrino, they asked Jimbo who's going to call plays. Did he kind of duck the question? Did he kind of go around in circles with it?
Yeah, you know how he is. I think in the end it's going to be Bobby Petrino.
Think about it. If you're Bobby Petrino, would you sign a contract if you're the offensive coordinator? You know they had a sit-down, come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
This is the way we're going to do it here at A&M. This is what we're going to pay you. This is your responsibilities. You will be calling plays. You know it's going to be ad. If I was applying for the job, I want to know. I'm offensive coordinator.
Right.
I'm doing my system. Like at Alabama, you don't. Nick Saban has a talk with them. And he lets them know we're not changing the terminology. We're keeping Alabama's terminology. We're not changing these plays where you can add to it. If we don't have the groupings we've had in the past, if these things don't work, you might take a little bit away. You might add a little bit, but this is Bama's offense.
Yeah.
Is Jimbo Fisher that way? What have you heard?
It's hard. You can't get a lot out of them, either one of them. You know what I mean? They're both they answer the questions, but they don't really answer the questions, if it makes sense. So, you kind of hear that it's going to be Bobby's offense, but also don't know how much, do they change terminology, stuff like that. But I think, in my opinion, Bobby has 100% control of the offense. Changing terminology, changing anything he wants to change.
Have they interviewed the players yet? Heard anything?
You haven't heard any. I mean, they just say positive things about Bobby. You know what I mean? Like he's had a good. He's been good in the quarterback room.
If you could find out, I would like to know that if they did, 100% true that they have changed their terminology. That's a big deal. I mean, that's a lot of learning going on this spring.
Yeah.
To me, I'm with Saban. I never let them change it. All the years I coached, we never changed the terminology because I thought it was just a lot easier for the kids that have been through the program. They know it. It's easier for one guy to learn it instead of changing the entire football team to learn it.
But I guess let me ask you this, though. How many years, though, or how many times was it just your offense that bad at Alabama where you feel like you need, you know what I mean? The offense was that bad this year for Jimbo. I mean, it was like it needed changing, I think. And so I think that'd be the difference between that and the fact that Bobby Petrino was a previous head coach, obviously all about offense. Like, I don't think really Nick has brought in someone like that. I think the close one would probably be Lane Kiffin, but I think it's a different situation.
Yeah.
So,
but Bama was more of a power running team. Then he brought them in, but they still kept that terminology.
Yeah.
I mean, they still had the sets and formations and motions, and they just everybody has the same stuff. I mean, it's not like.
Just what do you call it?
It's what you call it.
Right.
So
that's 100% true.
It'll be interesting if Jimbo Fisher gave that part up. That answers the question right there, because if he gave up the terminology, let him change that, he's not calling plays.
Yeah.
The head coach will not be calling plays, which is still hard for me to believe that Jimbo Fisher's not going to call plays. I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
I'm just wondering if Jimbo's going to have the headsets on, Petrino upstairs calling down the plays, then you're wondering, is that the play he called? And that's when a lot of problems happen with the coaching staff and things like that. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes things people don't realize. What do you think? Do they bounce back? A lot of people have them being good. A lot of people say they're not going to be good. What do you think? They got players.
Yeah, I mean, I think they bounce back for sure. I mean, especially going 5-6 or 5-7 last year. I mean, I think definitely can bounce back from that. I mean, I think, the idea of, playoffs, to me, that'd be a little bit of a stretch. I think we'd have to make a magical run for that to happen personally. But, I mean, I definitely think we're going to bounce back. Hopefully have closer 9-10 wins this year. Lose a few, obviously tough SEC West games, but hopefully take care of business. I mean, that was kind of the thing last year. Again, we lost games we should have won, in my opinion, which obviously turns out to be that we weren't really as good of a team as I thought. But, I mean, Appalachian State, come on now.
Well, let's go back to Bama. The big game. Everybody talks about it since a year ago when he beat them, and they had all that big blowout. About turning on each other, and he's Saban, go check him out, St. Nick or whatever he called him.
Yeah.
And then A&M, as bad as they were, I was at the game.
Yeah.
They could have, would have, should have won the game. I mean, they were down there, and they had every opportunity to do it. Bama stops them. But that was a heck of a football game.
Yeah.
Now, Bryce Young didn't play.
Right. And that makes
but still.
It makes a difference. I mean, don't get me wrong, again, and you said before, too, look at the players on the field.
Oh, they're beautiful.
A&M
beautiful.
Looks like a top 10 team.
Yeah.
Physically. But is it mentally, coaching-wise, preparedness, are we on that level? And I think hopefully, bringing in Bobby Petrino only helps us in that standpoint.
Yeah.
Game planning. Is he going to be, maybe Jimbo has lost it and he just isn't preparing them well.
Well, you look at
know what I mean?
I always question. He won at Florida State, and a lot of those kids were already there when he got there, and they're used to winning there. And he won a national championship with Florida State's and Bobby Bowden's people and background, and they were still used to winning then.
Right.
And then he let it run in the ground. When he knew he was leaving, he just completely quit recruiting.
Maybe he's not as well
great as a coach as people think. I don't know.
People think. So
I still think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
But I really, truly believe Petrino is an unbelievable coach.
I think it should only help us more.
Yeah.
Him being in the building.
I watched what he did at Louisville and wherever he's been. Auburn won him really big time. He is a great football coach. And maybe he's got some issues, but who doesn't? I mean, who's perfect? Show me somebody that's perfect. But he is a great football coach. I do think if Jimbo will sit back and just leave him alone, I think they'll be great. I think your offense will be good. Defensively, Florida, Texas A&M's defense is always good.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, we're definitely not bad, and we're only getting older on the defensive side, which to me makes us stronger. So
yeah. All right, Ethan. Again, one of the few restaurants here in town that you can actually have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is at Rudy's Barbecue. 350 seats. The facility's incredible. Beautiful place. TVs everywhere. You can sit indoors. You can sit outdoors. Really a great facility. But one thing I like about the food's incredible, but you did a great job hiring personal people. You walk in there, they greet you, they got a smile on their face. They're really pleasant people. And that's what you want to be around. You want to be around good, positive people.
Who's Mr. Evil here? Mr. Evil.
If you don't know what I did, I just looked over at Jim, and the guilty dog barks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He started talking. But again, I'll get to Rudy's Barbecue. Catering.
Yep.
You're still doing that?
Yeah, obviously starting to get orders for Easter. So we'll have a lot of lunch catering for Easter and then stuff like that. So.
Have you seen a really big pickup since spring break? Because I've kind of avoided that part.
Yeah,
beach.
We did early on last week, and then kind of like later in the week, I think the weather kind of deterred a lot of stuff just because it got.
Now, this is the weekend supposed to be really crowded, correct?
This week and then next week.
Next 2 weeks.
Yeah, next 2 weeks will be really good.
Yeah. If you're down here visiting, make sure you get out down to Rudy's Barbecue and have a great meal. Tim Coe sends you. Matter of fact, whoever we get a phone call anytime this week, we'll give away a card. I keep telling people, make sure you want to call in. We'd love for you to call in and talk to us, 215-6290, except when we get back. Alabama update's coming. Now, you can call. I don't care. We can call in. At 8:15, I hope we got Andy Bursham. Jamie saw Andy in Birmingham. We'll talk to Andy about everything that's going on in Auburn. He's going to get ready to focus on baseball. But when we get back, we'll talk a little bit of Alabama Crimson Tide. Spring football has started there. Also, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. If you love pizza, the only place to go is Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. 3 restaurants in one. The bakery's incredible. The deli's great. But the pizza is unbelievable. They do a great job down there also. It's on Thomas Drive, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. I want to thank the great team of Turf Pro Pest Control. They do an incredible job. Thank you for the great job you've done at our place and throughout Bay Point. If you want that yard looking absolutely beautiful, you have any kind of problems, whatever, Turf Pro Pest Control will take care of you. Make sure you give them a call, make an appointment. They'll come out and they'll take care of all your problems. I guarantee you. They do a great job. All right, we'll be right back. You're listening to the legendary ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
Teams not in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes are saying they would not give up a first-round pick for him. 2 years ago, Matt Stafford, with a losing record, went for 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a Super Bowl quarterback, Jared Goff. Aaron Rodgers today, second-round pick, maybe a third-rounder next year conditional.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, 11 to 1, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tuesday weather forecast for the entire listening area. Mostly sunny today. Temperatures will be flirting with about 70. An east wind 10 to 15. And the water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear around 52 tonight. Mostly sunny Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the mid to upper 70s each afternoon. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Here from Sip Society. We're mobile bartenders serving from a reimagined horse trailer in the Florida Panhandle and beyond. We've spent the last year remodeling and perfecting a vintage horse trailer that is now fully equipped to serve at any event. Serving anything from draft beer, wine, cocktails, and our specialty, rosé, Sip Society elevates any event. You bring the party, we'll bring the bar. Check us out at ssmobilebar.com or follow us on all socials at Sip Society Mobile Bar.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, Powerlet FC, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, it's Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. And just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself. Don't miss the summer deal where all your monthly memberships are 50% off on your first month, starting at $9.99 a month. Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road, right next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa, Alabama Update is brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. I can't say enough great things about Jason and the great job they do at Stevenson Air Conditioning. I would like to remind you, every 6 months, get it serviced right before summer, right before winter. Get it serviced. It'll run better. It'll last longer, and it saves you money on power bill. If you got an old one, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. The money you're paying in power bill is going to continue to go higher and higher. And if you go buy a brand new one, over the life of the unit, it'll pay for itself and the money you save off your power bill. They came in, we had everything done. Everything you can do, they did it. And they could have ripped me off. I wanted the biggest unit you could put in one. And he said, you didn't need it. I didn't know him from Adam. I didn't know who he was. He sat there and told me everything I actually needed because of the square footage and all this other stuff. And he saved me money. And he didn't have to do that. A great man, Stevenson Air Conditioning, family owned, local people, not a national company. This is local people. Let's take care of the locals here in Northwest Florida. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1, not even close. Not even close. All right, Alabama update. Bama has started back spring football practice. Big question of Bama is who's going to be the starting quarterback? Melrose, whoever. We don't know who's going to be. If Melrose can throw the football and gets his passing game in order, and look out, Bama could be really special. But the guy's a freak of an athlete. He's won multiple state championships in the great state of Texas. Got all the ability in the world. He's just got to do a better job throwing the football. If he can do that, good things can happen at Bama. Bama's got a very talented football team, got a lot of talent. Let's see how it plays out. Their schedule's pretty difficult, and we'll talk more about Bama later. Right now, I want to get a couple things in. One of my favorite punters all time at Bama, J.K. Scott, set to get $4 million deal in free agency. Going to be playing for the Chargers. He averaged 43.6 on 73 punts. Pretty good job. He was a weapon when Bama had those great teams. Good. That's when Bama more or less was a power football team. Field position was critical, and he always flipped the field. The guy was one of the greatest punters. He didn't remind me of Ray Guy. He was built like Ray Guy. Tall, big, good-looking guy. Very flexible, great kicker. Congratulations to him making that big-time money at Alabama. Where you come to Bama, you get developed, and they have you ready, prepared to make the big-time bucks at the next level. Roll Tide. Alabama basketball, my goodness, what a team we have here. Alabama, first time, I think, in school history, they've won 31 basketball games. They've lost 5. First round in Birmingham was incredible. The atmosphere was unbelievable. Again, I will ask Andy Bertram more about it. They were people 2 hours before they opened the gates, people everywhere outside ready to get in. You just never seen anything like it. And that was for the first game with Auburn and Houston. It was the same thing in the second game. Places packed out. The atmosphere was great for both games, especially for the Auburn game the first half, and then it kind of fell apart after that. But Bama played Maryland. They got after each other. It's a physical basketball game. There's no doubt about that. Bama beats Maryland 73-51. Maryland, out of the Big Ten, was 22-12 during the regular season, and Bama again 31-5. Brandon Miller he played pretty good in that game, but the second game he played really outstanding. Or was that the second game, Maryland? I can't remember now. But his hamstring is an issue. Not his hamstring, but his groin has been an issue. But to me, Jim, I watched him play the second game, and he looked really good. He didn't like his volume at all. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Alabama, but I was impressed. There was one play. He ran down, blocked the shot. Maryland was the second, I'm sorry. And then sprints his butt back down the other end. They passed him. He jacks up a three. He makes it like back-to-back. It's like, he can play. Yeah, he'll be and the place goes crazy. He's only going to play there 1 year. He'll be gone. Yeah. That was a really impressive play. And what's kind of impressive about this, these 2 games I watched him play, a lot of those games, they were missing those threes, and they still were winning up by 15, 20. If they had been hitting those threes, they'd have won those games by 40. I mean, they get hot, and they hit those threes, I think they can win it all. Yeah, they're legit. They're pretty good. Big, good-looking physical team. They play great defense. I didn't realize how good. I haven't watched that much, but they play good defense. They're a physical. Everybody was talking about they have a hard time with the physical teams. I think they got sick of hearing that because the last couple games they've been playing physical on the defense end of the board. I can't wait. Friday on to Louisville, Florida. Alabama will play San Diego State. They were number 5 seed. And I'll have the time for you later. I forgot. You had the time with that game Friday. It's in Louisville, Alabama. I don't know if it's the early game or late. I think it might be the late game. But looking forward to watching that game, maybe at Newbies 2 on the curve. But hopefully Bama 2 wins away from making the Final Four. They got to win the next 2 basketball games. I like what the coach from San Diego State said. We don't know much. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's an early 5:30 game. 5:30. Let me write that down. 5:30. TBS. What's it on? TBS. TBS. Alabama. Yeah, 5:30 Friday, Central Time, TBS, Alabama, San Diego State. The head coach was honest. He goes, hey, I don't know much about Bama at all. And really, it's not about Bama. It's about us. Yeah. What we're going to do. We got to get us ready to play, which I like what he was saying. I screwed my computer up. Jim, what do you think happens this Friday? Does Bama take care of San Diego State? I don't know anything about San Diego State.
I saw San Diego State play. When you get down to the finals, 16 teams, they're all going to be pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good. Are they as good as Alabama? I don't think so. If Alabama plays as well as they're capable, they'll make in my opinion, they'll make the final. They'll make the championship game. Now, whether they'll win or not, I have no idea. But they're big and they can shoot and they're athletic. And I think they have a sense of mission, it seems like, get some attention for Alabama basketball compared to football, for so long. I was impressed with Alabama. They're legit.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was actually thinking, worried, well, here we go again. We think we're going to be really good. We always kind of screw something up, but not now. They're playing tough, man. They're getting after it. They're playing really hard. Got a lot of respect for Coach O's. He does a heck of a game, man. Does a great job. Now, they were saying that Nick might have made a statement, and people, this is BS. People are trying to make something out of nothing. Nick suspended a football player. They got arrested, had something with marijuana. I got it written down. I ain't going to look it up right now. I try to avoid anything negative about Bama football, but anyway, he suspended a kid, I think he's incoming freshman, and he said, you make things just doesn't happen. He said, I don't want to hear this at the wrong place at the wrong time. No. You choose who you hang around with. You choose what you do. You put yourself in those situations.
Right.
That's not being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's the choices you make, which is really good. I mean, he said it completely the truth. So Tony Mitchell got suspended, and I don't know when he'll be back with the Alabama football team. The kid can play.
And it doesn't make it right, but to me, you're extremely naive if you don't think that every program in America doesn't have issues like that. You got 100-some 18 to 22-year-olds who get all the attention you can possibly get. Stuff's going to go wrong. I mean, there's going to be people make bad decisions. It happens in every program in America. It's just whether or not you find out about it or you hear about it, it's going to happen. It is. And we know of a local one where it happened, so who had never had any problems at all when we had them, and goes up there and blows up, So you just never know,
Right.
It's going to happen.
And I just screwed my computer again. Okay, all right. Alabama spring football. I want to talk a little about that. Shift gears from basketball. We know they got a great basketball team. I want to go to Alabama football. Got two brand new coordinators, Jim. Got the new offensive coordinator, young guy from Notre Dame, making big-time money. And you got Kevin Steele's been doing it forever, coach, defense coordinator at LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Clemson. He's done it. He knows Nick's system. He knows the terminology. No problem there. Players love him. I think he will do a great job at Alabama. I really do. I think he'll get a little bit more aggressive at Bama than we were in the past. I'm not worried about defense, even though we lost some great players. Offensively, how hard it is. What do you think, a guy coming here, young like that, having to learn someone else's terminology and then get it across to the players that already know it? What kind of job do you think he'll do? He ran the ball quite a bit last year at Notre Dame.
I thought he did a great job at Notre Dame. I really did, because a couple years ago they were pretty, like last year, not this season, but last year, 2021, they were pretty conservative on offense, and he kind of opened them up. As the season got along and got a little confidence, I think he's going to be fine. I really do. If you can coach at Notre Dame, you can coach at Alabama. Either you know the stuff or you don't. And he played at Notre Dame. He coached at Notre Dame. I think he's going to be fine. It's just whether or not certain elements will accept him because he's not an Alabama guy.
He'll be fine. If they can get in there,
if things go
first
good.
and goal from the 1 foot line, he didn't throw 3 passes in a row like they did A&M when they lost the game up there. I might go back and watch, and I still don't get it. These are guys that coach the NFL. I don't know. They're trying to get Bryce Young another touchdown and stuff. But that A&M game, they should have not lost. I mean, I give them credit. They played a great game. But Alabama had every opportunity in the world to win that game, and they beat themselves because of play calling on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
And I go back, and for 2 years I'd watch him, and I'd shake my head like, we can't run quarterback sneak, we can't run off tackle, we can't line up in a goal line offense and just power the ball like we used to. I didn't get it. And I see the same things happen at Ohio State. Ohio State's not as physical as they used to be on the offense side of the ball.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Big Ten's week. Anyway, all right, we'll be right back. Let's talk about some of our great people. Alabama Update again is brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason, thank you guys so much. We got a new sponsor too, baby. I can't wait till Michael gets in here. Mike does a great job. Michael's Health Insurance Solution. We'll be having him in here probably in the middle of April. He's prepaid. He's ready to go, baby. He is ready to get out there, and he's got some great things to talk about. He loves football. He loves college football. And he knows it works. He likes listening to it. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, talked about them a minute ago. If you love pizza, get out to Paparazzi. J. Michael's Restaurant, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. One day away from that world-famous spaghetti. If you're down here, you want seafood, you will not get better shrimp, fried shrimp, nowhere better in the state of Florida than J. Michael's Restaurant. Go try it. You'll absolutely love it. We'll be right back. You're listening to the legendary ESPN Northwest Florida. Hope we got Andy Burcham in the Auburn Tiger update. We hope to get him. We'll be right back.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right. He jumped on one and hits a homer.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
At the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tuesday weather forecast for the entire listening area. Mostly sunny today. Temperatures will be flirting with about 70. An east wind 10 to 15. And the water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear around 52 tonight. Mostly sunny Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the mid to upper 70s each afternoon. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Your spring adventures began today at Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family is built for all adventures, and the possibilities are endless. Now offering 3.25% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today, 2435 East 15th Street, or anytime online at BillBirdKia.com. We're going to treat you like family and give you that peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/3/23.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa, Eagle! Hey, all you Auburn people throughout North and West Florida, get out to Bay Point Golf. If you love golf, go play there. It's incredible. Ron Moe and that group do an incredible job down there. And Ethan, a great thing to do is you can cater Rudy's Barbecue, right?
Yep.
All right, let's get, I think we got him, the legendary Andy Burcham. Andy, how you doing this morning?
Gentlemen, I'm doing well. A little bit chilly, but doing well here in Auburn. Hope you are doing well. In addition,
we are doing great. I tell you what, I want to talk to you. I know you didn't see it. You were already inside the arena, but before the game, I don't know if you heard about it or not, that place, 2 hours waiting, people everywhere excited about basketball. And as soon as they opened the gates, Jamie said everybody ran in there. It was crazy. What was the atmosphere like? I know it fell apart in the second half, but before then, what was the atmosphere like before the game and during the first half of the Auburn basketball game?
Yeah, it was terrific, and the folks in Birmingham did a great job of staging this event. And for fans of basketball in this state, it was a special weekend. There was a big crowd on hand for Auburn's game on Thursday night. and then the Alabama session was actually the session before. Big crowd for that one as well. And then for the session that included both Auburn and Alabama on Saturday, the place was packed. And it was a great atmosphere. I think they've done a great job with Legacy Arena refurbishing that facility. They could use some more parking. That'd be nice. But who doesn't need more parking?
Right.
And really just did a very good job of hosting a big time event. And hopefully it's not the last time that Legacy Arena is a stage for the NCAA tournament.
You know, I have people all the time say, well, you know, ask him this, ask him that. But you got your headsets on, so I guess you really can't tell how loud different arenas are. Talk a little about that, because people do ask you certain questions. What when you're at the game, you're focusing on calling the game, and you kind of block out everything, but you really can't hear everything with his headsets on, right?
Well, not to the extent if you were just a fan at the game. I mean, you hear it. You hear big event, big plays. You know that it's there. At Auburn, for goodness sakes, I mean, we've got fans literally a foot behind us at the Jungle. A little bit different in that setting because we're on the front row court side, and there's a little bit of a buffer between us and the stands, or us and the fans. But no, that place got loud. That place was loud in the first half. And listen, I mean, I know Houston didn't have a huge crowd there, nothing compared to Auburn's, but the Houston fans got into it, obviously, in the second half. And then I'm sure I did not stick around for the Alabama game after. I was catching the bus back to the hotel. But Alabama fans had plenty to cheer about as well. And it was a neat event. It was a neat event. It was unique in that Auburn and Alabama fans were in the same place, but Auburn and Alabama fans weren't facing each other, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that was a unique dynamic.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Great thing for the state of Alabama. Let's go back and talk about the first Thursday night game. Auburn beats Iowa. Was it 83-75? What did you think about that game? And then let's get to Houston after this.
Well, the Iowa game was a terrific game. It was a fun game to call. Both teams had runs. Auburn played so very well in that game, put together two really good halves of basketball, and hit their free throws down the stretch, and won a game against a really good Iowa basketball team. And then you go into Saturday and you're facing the number one seed, and you go from a team in Iowa that is not known for its defense to a team in Houston that's one of the best, if not the best, defensive teams in the country. And for a half of basketball, it couldn't have gone much better for Auburn. To lead by 10 at halftime, to shoot over 50% in the first half, to hold Houston to 35% shooting in the first half, to score 40 points in the first half. It was a terrific half of basketball. And the second half couldn't have been much more different. Houston clamped down defensively on Auburn. Auburn struggled mightily from an offensive standpoint, just 4 field goals, and Auburn missed a lot of free throws in the second half of that game. So the first half and the second half couldn't have been more diverse. We were all excited by halftime and leading by 10. I thought Auburn had Houston on the ropes, and then Houston exerted its will in the second half, especially from a defensive standpoint. They got rolling from an offensive standpoint and ended up winning that ball game. And hats off to Houston. That's a very, very good ball club. That's the number one seed in the Midwest Regional, and now they go on to Kansas City, and they're trying to get back home for the Final Four. Final Four is in Houston this year. If they make it, they will have made it through a very tough region to get out of Birmingham, beating Auburn, and then getting into Kansas City and winning and heading back to Houston if that occurs.
Yeah, you kind of answered the question I was going to ask you next. Are they for real? Because you watched all the teams this whole year, and you just kind of answered it. They're for real. They look good.
They're very good. They're very good defensively, and they're big and athletic, and they're a physical basketball team. So yeah, that team's for real. Whether it's the best team in the country right now, I don't know, but it is a very good. It is certainly worthy of a number one seed, in my opinion.
What did Coach say after the game? What was? I know he's disappointed losing, but what all did he have to say after the ball game?
Well, I mean, he kind of said what I just said. I mean, Auburn played a really good first half of that, and Stephen Pearl talked with us. We don't get to talk to Bruce Pearl in post game because of all the NCAA media obligations.
Oh, okay.
And Stephen walked over. The first thing he said when he did our post game show was, Auburn played maybe the best first half of basketball and its worst second half of basketball, all in the same game.
Yeah.
And part of that, though, is with Houston. And they're very good at the guard. Marcus Sasser did not appear to have any problems with his hamstring and shot the ball well. And then they were just so very good on the inside. And they decided they were going to foul Janai Broome every time he got the ball on the inside, and it paid off because Janai really struggled from the free throw line at that point.
Right. Well, Andy, I want to ask you this: what do you think, or what is Coach saying next year? They have any idea yet who's going to turn pro?
Yeah, that's a great question, James, and I don't know if they have the answer for that, or if they do, they've not divulged it.
Okay.
At this point, Leor Berman and Alan Flanagan and Jalen Williams were all honored on Senior Day. They could all come back to Auburn. They have a COVID year left. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of those three come back. I think Bruce Pearl is hoping that one or all three of those guys come back for Auburn. And then I think it's going to be a different looking team next year, regardless. I think Auburn will probably hit the transfer portal again. Auburn has used the transfer portal to its advantage. I think you have to say that with the Katie Johnson and Wendell Green and Walker Kessler and Janai Broome. Those guys have won a lot of basketball games for Auburn since the transfer portal came into existence. So my guess is Auburn is looking at that transfer portal, and next year will be a different looking Auburn basketball team. Exactly what's going to happen, James, I'd be guessing at this point. I just can't tell you at this time.
All right, Andy, I know now you got to switch gears. You go right from basketball straight into baseball. What's your week going to look like this week? What will you be doing this week?
Auburn plays tonight against South Alabama in Montgomery. It's Auburn's annual game at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery. And for the second straight year, South Alabama is the opponent. Both of these teams are trying to right the ship. Both of these teams lost weekend or were swept in weekend series. So this game's really important to both Auburn and South Alabama. And then Auburn has a quick turnaround, James, because the Tigers play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at home against Georgia this week. So it'll be good to be back at Plainsman Park. Thankfully, I'm not having to travel a whole lot after spending a lot of time away from home with Auburn basketball. So tonight in Montgomery, we start at 6, broadcast at 5:45, and then Thursday night at 6, Friday night at 6, and then Saturday afternoon at 2 against the Georgia Bulldogs. So, yeah, right back into baseball. I walked into the office yesterday morning about 7:30 and just got to work, and it was odd not to start working for the next basketball game, not to start prepping and doing score sheets for that next basketball game. That was a little odd for me, but I'll find that rhythm and get right back into baseball, the baseball rhythm, and it all starts tonight.
I got to ask you again. I apologize. I asked you before and I forgot. But did all the SEC schools, announcers like you, these big time, do they all do all three sports, or do some of them just do football? Or give us a little rundown on that.
Yeah, it's odd in the way it shakes out right now, because I don't think there's any broadcaster, any play-by-play man in the Eastern Division of the SEC that does all three.
Yeah.
All of us that are doing all three are in the Western Division, and that includes Andrew Monaco at Texas A&M, Chris Blair at LSU, David Kellum at Ole Miss, and yours truly here at Auburn. And for this year, Chris Stewart at Alabama.
Yeah.
Because Chris, of course, filled in for Eli during the football season, and he's done basketball. He's still doing basketball and baseball as well. So all the guys that are doing all three right now reside in the SEC West.
Andy,
Soon to be, there won't be divisions, so it'll just be all a jumble there.
Well, the bottom line in the SEC West, it just means more.
That's right. That's a good way to put it, Jamie.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Andy, Jamie said she saw you. Got to give you a hug.
Yeah.
That was good. I was
glad to see Jamie. We got to talk for just a brief couple minutes, and it's always good to see her. She does outstanding work. You should be proud of her. I know you are.
I am, man. Thank you so much. We're proud to have you on, Andy Bergman, the legendary Andy Bergman. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll talk to you next week about baseball.
All right, guys. You have a great day. War Eagle.
War Eagle. Andy Bergman. I love Andy. Great man. They do now. The SEC West, they work their tail off than these broadcasting. Same thing with sports. It just means more in the West. I think we should bring Georgia in the Western Division. What do you think? No?
The Gators would like it.
Gators will be back, baby. I'm telling you, Napier's going to get them back. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Bay Point Golf, I want to thank Ryan Mulvey and John Warren. They do a great job out there. If you love golf, the only place you're going to go to, that is Bay Point. And Ryan will be in here Friday. What do we want back? Bring back bingo. We want our bingo back. All right, Ryan, we got to get it. People want it in Bay Point Golf. And Ethan, we got to say it all the time. You go to any kind of catering, Rudy's Barbecue, they go hand in hand with Bay Point Golf.
It's perfect pairing.
Hey, how did you do against Ryan when y'all played?
We played together, and thank goodness he played.
He did play.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's very good. He his back probably hurts from carrying the team. We had a lot of fun, but
he's a great athlete, man.
He's a lot better at golf than I am.
I just got a text from Michigan Eddie. I'm not even going to mention it. He has hurt my heart. I haven't heard from him. He hadn't called. So
he was in Vegas.
Oh, he's been gone?
He was in Vegas, and then when he got back from Vegas, he was sick.
Oh, I apologize.
So I think you owe Michigan Eddie an apology.
I apologize. I do. I'm sorry.
And a Rudy's gift card.
Yeah.
We'll have to get that. We don't like him now.
I don't like him that much. Anyway, we'll be right back. We get back. We got, the kind of money Georgia's assistant coaches are making, the way Kirby takes care of us, kind of like how I took care of Jim Brand. I paid him big time.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Mariana, and 101.9 Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
For the first time in school history, Princeton is going to the Sweet 16.
Listen to the men.
The 8th seed knocks out the returning champion Jayhawks.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And that right there is the explanation point.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC Network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Appreciate you guys listening this morning. Be careful driving back to school. Beautiful day, a little cold, but it was a lot better than it was yesterday at this time. And I think it's going to gradually warm up. Then we'll have, like, I think, maybe a storm Friday. Who knows? But anyway, as long as we don't have severe weather, we're good. I ask you to keep Doris Langton in your prayers. My mother-in-law is going through some health issues. Please pray for her that everything works out well. We were talking about those Gators earlier. Remember the story we were talking about the Gators and everything? Seriously, though, George Langton, her husband, my father-in-law, one time went to Lake Pierce out there. It was mating season. And honest to God, it was scary. We finally got out took the boat and got out of there. I've never seen so many big gators in one place in my life. And that's another thing I'm kind of always thinking about those gators, because I saw it firsthand. And it's incredible to watch them come out of the water and attack and kill a dog. It's really sad. We got a caller? Okay, let's take this caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Go Blue Trucks here, Arizona.
There he is.
You need to pay me, so I call in all the time, and for going to all your sponsors.
Show him the money, James. Show him the money.
Show me the money, baby. It's great to hear that voice.
I told you we could give him a Rudy's card.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Hey, put his name on it and give it to me. I'm going to take Leighton out there in Lorelei. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss Gay. Hey, it's so great to hear your voice. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I just had some stomach issues. Excuse me. I got to get my infusion this week, so the medicine's wearing off, so kind of had a rough bout the past week and a half. So hopefully Thursday I got fixed up and good to go. But still going to work, not entitled like some people, you know what I mean? Still got to make that money. Nothing's for free in this country, unlike some people.
Whoa, time out. Nothing for free in this country. You kidding me? Everything's free.
Especially if you're an illegal.
For some, not others.
Yeah, there's workers and there's,
Michigan A, tell me what your feelings are about Sparty being the only Big Ten team left in the big dance, buddy.
Well, Coach Izzo is doing what he does. He always has a good tournament run, and I'm not surprised at all. And with everything that happened at East Lansing this year, I think they have a lot to play for. You know what I mean? And I think some of it's emotion and all that, and it's working to their advantage. And Coach Izzo always has his kids ready to go, so I'm not surprised. On the other hand, Michigan they need to learn how to win close games. They lost like double-digit games by a single bucket or less, or single digits or something. They collapsed against Vanderbilt. They're up by 10. Gave that game to them in the NIT up in Nashville this weekend. So, and then they lost heartbreakers to Indiana, Purdue, etc. all year long. It's been the same song and dance all year for Michigan. I know they're young, but you got to win at least half of those games, not lose them all. So it is what it is. But I still believe in Coach Howard. He's the right man for the job. So he'll get it fixed up. He's a great dude.
Michigan.
But hey, how about hold on, Coach, I'm talking. Michigan hockey, one of the number one seeds facing Colgate in the hockey tournament. Let's see. And guess where the Frozen Four is this year, coaches? Coach Jim Bob Superflex.
I have no idea.
Great Lakes.
Ann Arbor?
Tampa.
Where?
And by the way, Tampa.
Wow. It's going to be cold that time.
Emily Arena. So if they make it, we're going. And by the way, Rudy Tootie, you got a new worker at the front desk this morning. She was great, packaged our tacos and our salsas and all that. Rudy Tootie, good morning to you. And by the way, A&M let me down. They choked, just saying. Terrible.
Can I talk now?
No. And TCU had a good run. They choked too. But hey, the Longhorns, can you believe it? They're still dancing.
Yeah, they look good.
Now you can go, Coach. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, because you're such a great, you can see into the future so well, and you're always right on your picks. Who's going to win it all? Who's going to win the national championship in basketball?
Well, Alexa, Bubby, my daughter, picked Gonzaga. All my picks went down to 2. Kenley and Little Eddie picked Alabama.
Whoa, Ty.
Deanna picked Xavier. So I really, I wouldn't be surprised if Sparty goes all the way. I wouldn't
Michigan
be surprised.
State, that weak conference, no.
Izzo, like you say, Eddie, Izzo is a really good big-time coach. He'll have them ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think
I don't think they're the most talented team, but I think he'll have them ready. The teams that I saw, and I watched most of the games, and this is no particular order, but to me, the best 5 teams that I saw, Alabama, Houston, Miami, Gonzaga, UCLA. I think those are the 5 best teams that got a shot at winning it all. Now, I don't know who will win, but...
Ethan, who you think's got the best shot?
My bracket had Bama, so that's what I'm pulling for.
Good man. Good.
Little Eddie actually had UCLA in his bracket by himself. So
UCLA looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kelvin Sampson, I used to have respect for him. I usually had some trouble. I could get past that. But his sourpuss face, complaining that he's playing in Birmingham, all that. But you play where the tournament sends you. You know what I mean? If you want to complain about it, do it in-house. You don't do it on the air after you just won a ball game.
What did he say? I missed that.
And play ball.
What did he say?
He was upset that he had to play basically a home game for Auburn in Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
And just the sourpuss face, just the look on his face was like, grow up, you're a man. You're not a little boy, dude.
And he won the game, yeah. But you know what?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I kind of get it. You're the number 1 seed, and you got to go play. Really, it was a home game for Auburn. But you know what? I'm with you, Michigan. Just grins and bear with it, man.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you would have played better and got a number 1 seed in another region, would you rather be at number 2 or a lower seed in a region that's more conducive to your atmosphere, possibly playing better teams and might lose, or get a number 1 seed and have an easier road to the Final Four, even though you might be playing in hospital? When I was an athlete in high school and college, whatever, I loved playing on the road. I relished that. So I mean, if you have the right team, they'll take that adversity, turn it into a positive, and whoop some keister. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I'm with you, brother. Hey, Michigan, what were you doing in Vegas? Did you win anything, lose anything? What were y'all doing in Vegas?
I had at the end I went out there because I had a work trip. I had a conference out there at Nellis.
Okay.
At Nellis Air Force Base.
Did you get to go by and see that stadium, the Raiders Stadium out there?
Yeah, we were actually in that stadium in September when we saw Motley Crue and Def Leppard in concert. It's beautiful. And T-Mobile Arena is awesome. We saw a George Strait concert there. That's great. And here's the thing. When we were there that week, there's 3 college basketball tournaments going on there. You had the WCC, the Mountain West, and the Pac-12 all playing basketball that week while we were there.
Wow.
And you had fans from all over. It was crazy. Went to the Golden Sears Steakhouse where, Frank Sinatra, Joe DiMaggio, and all them ate. It's worth it if you go. It's a little hole in the wall, but it's awesome. And then did the Venetian Gondola ride, did the romance thing for the wife, It was a good time. Good time.
So the military does conferences in Vegas, huh?
Yeah. That's
until I get sick. Yeah. No, what it was on an Air Force base, brother.
Oh,
Nellis, home of the Thunderbirds.
Hey,
go ahead. I'm listening.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, has Michigan started spring football yet?
They did. They had their pro days last week or 2 weeks ago, I believe, and then they've had some spring ball, I think. Yeah,
I want to apologize to you. We've given you such a hard time the last 2 or 3 years, and you guys have really taken over the Big Ten. I mean, you've beaten the Buckeyes 2 years in a row. It'd be like Auburn beating Alabama 2 years in a row. I got to give you credit. I mean, I saw that team in Columbus with more talent than anybody else in college football, and they just didn't get it done.
But you're still picking Ohio State to win the Big Ten next year, aren't you, Coach?
Yes.
Yeah. That's all right. Haters are going to hate, and we'll just shock the world and prove the world wrong again.
Well,
so that's it.
We will
that's why you play the game, right? They're not playing on paper.
We get to go. We're going to go into the big house this year.
Well, we're yep, and hopefully we might go. You want to go, Coach? Coach Jimbo Superfly Stuga? Ethan, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. You got me tickets? I'll go.
Alabama Auburn play that day. I can't miss that game. Yeah, I can't miss that game. I can watch all of them on TV. Hey, listen, we got to go. We're tired of talking to you. It's great hearing from you again. Call back in about another month. How long has it been now? About 2 weeks since we've heard from you?
Well, I've talked to you personally on the phone in the last 2 weeks. I was trying to get your reservations for your trip to Orlando.
That's right.
He just doesn't talk to you.
Yeah, I'm talking about on the radio. I'm talking about the world can hear you. It's been at least 2 weeks.
Well, it's been about 3 weeks because you went on vacation because you work when you want to. You know what I mean? So, and you're off all the time for this, that, and the other. So when I was going to call you, you didn't have a show. So couldn't call in that time. And then you had spring break. Then I was out of town.
Listen, Johnny Carson used to take a lot of time off too now.
Yeah, but you work for the people. You work for us, Coach. Remember that.
I'm a lion. I'm not a sheep. Hey, listen, we got to go. We got to take a break. Thanks for calling, buddy. I'm glad you're feeling better.
All right, thank you. Take care. I'll pray for Miss Doris. You take care of yourself.
All right, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I'm out. Yeah.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you so much, sir. Buffalo Rock. Appreciate you guys. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Love you. Wonderful job down there. Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck's nothing but a winner. So is South Oak Title and Closing. All the big realtors demand. And you demand your closing is your money. Demand South Oak Title and Close. They do an incredible job. We got Ethan Boyd, Rudy's Tootie's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. Go try it. You'll love it. Try the turkey plate, the turkey sandwich. You'll love it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 great places. 3 great love. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I was trying to say.
Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
The afternoon underdogs are live on location at Dave & Buster's every Wednesday from 4 to 6. It's David, Miles, and a cast of sports fanatics broadcasting live at Dave & Buster's Pier Park. We'll even put you on the radio. Join us for fun, great sports talk, half-price cocktails, half-price games, amazing eats, and free swag from the Sports Talk Monster, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Tuesday weather forecast for the entire listening area. Mostly sunny today. Temperatures will be flirting with about 70. An east wind 10 to 15. And the water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear around 52 tonight. Mostly sunny Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the mid to upper 70s each afternoon. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Broadcasting live from the J. Michaels Studios.
The best part of waking up is
the Coach James Hale Show. Powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. We appreciate you turning in today. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN in Panama City, 102.1 Mariana, and beautiful Port St. Joe, 101.9. Jim, we have a new coach. He is 70 years old. What did you think about the hire?
Rick Pitino.
Talk about it.
Yeah, if you're a college basketball fan, this is not a new name by any stretch of the imagination. Rick Pitino won a national championship at Kentucky, won a national championship at Louisville.
Loserville.
And then got in trouble there because of stuff that he said he knew nothing about. That's a lie. And so he lost the national championship in 2013. He's been at Iona the last 3 years, made it to the playoffs twice. He's the only coach to ever take 3 different teams to the Final Four. So he can definitely coach. His
Two
record.
of them won national championships, by the way.
He's won two.
Yeah.
His record is 684 and 282 overall. He can really coach. The thing that surprised me, not that St. John's hired him, that's not a surprise, but he's 70 years old and they gave him a 6-year contract. That's like, man.
I want to say it was $25 million over
6 years. I saw, they said in the one I just saw, in a neighborhood of $20 million.
Yeah.
At this point, what difference does it make? You're making a lot of money.
He doesn't need money.
He doesn't need the money. Yeah. So it's been a long time since St. John's, which is in New York City, was relevant. I think they're going to have a hard time recruiting the players like they, back in the day, St. John, Chris Mullen, the lefty who played for Golden State for so long, Mark Jackson, they were really good. They were in contention all the time. Lately, not so much. I see them having a hard time recruiting players to want to go play in New York City. That's just me. I mean, I don't know. Well, but we'll see. He's done a great job everywhere he's coached.
Do you think that NIL deals have really changed college basketball? Because, again, the SEC, they love sports. They'll put the money in there. They'll pay money to get basketballs to come to Kentucky. Alabama's doing it. Auburn's done it. Has that helped the SEC come into basketball? Does it hurt somewhere like St. John's? Do they have the type of money for these NIL deals?
You would think that St. John's isn't a big money school. I mean, they only play they don't have football. I don't know what else or sports they play. They're in New York City. The cost of living's got to be astronomical, and just the safety factor, getting jumped on the subway and everything. That's reality. I just wouldn't. If I was a player and I had a choice, I wouldn't go to St. John's. That's just me.
Right. Well, I think he will win. There's no doubt where he's been. He's won big time. He will win. Can he win a national championship before he retires? I don't know. How long does he stay? 70 years old. Does he stay 6 years? I say no.
I say no.
I say maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think if he's doing well, I think he'll stay the 6 years. But the Big East is obviously, since they've done all the realignment, so that Big East is not what it used to be. With Syracuse and all them in there. So it is not as.
But it may not be what it used to be. But of the 16 teams left, 3 are from the Big East.
Yeah, they have.
You got UConn, Creighton, which I didn't know. Creighton's in Nebraska. How that's the Big East, I have no idea. And who's the other one? Creighton, Nebraska.
Xavier.
Who?
Xavier.
Yeah. So, they've come back a little bit, but they don't have the Georgetown anymore, or the St. John's, Seton Hall. No, those guys aren't what they used to be, for sure.
Who got the job at Georgetown? Do you remember?
Cooley.
Okay. But in basketball, though, it's different than football. You get one stud. You get one. Look at Alabama. You get one great player, and the other ones are just pretty good players. You can have a doggone good team. In football, you got to have a lot of good players to have a good football team. It's totally different. I want to shift gears. Ole Miss Rebels. I've had this for a while. I want to talk about defining game for Ole Miss this year. What game they really need to win. And they've done this for most teams in the SEC, and I've covered a couple of them so far. I'm going to get to Ole Miss today. Ole Miss might have the toughest schedule in the college football. It's true they might really do it. Their crossover game, they got Georgia, back-to-back national championship, and then they play the SEC West, which is Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas A&M, Arkansas. They do truly have one of the toughest schedules of all of college football. Last year, the schedule set up a little bit better, a lot better than this year's coming up. And they were undefeated when they played Bama. But the big game this year for for Ole Miss is the LSU game. Last year, they were up 17-3. Remember, he's doing all this going for it on his inside the 35-yard line, 4th and 1. And they go for it. They don't make it. So that's crazy. His play calling, I think, helped turn it for LSU. But LSU woke up. They get it done. LSU beats Ole Miss Rebels 45-20 at LSU. This game will be played in Oxford. And you look at their schedule, the experts think this is a game they've got to have if they want to have the kind of year they want to have. I don't know, with the schedule they've got, he's done a great job getting kids to come in there to play. He got that number 1 running back in the country from TCU to come in. Alabama wouldn't recruit him anymore. Texas, I didn't want him anymore. But he comes to Ole Miss, does a great job. He does a great job getting players in. He does a great job developing them. But, Jim, I think he's his own worst enemy. I just don't get this going for it. Why give a game away? If it works, I still don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either at all.
Do you think they got a chance with everything LSU's got coming back?
No.
Right now, I'd
In
put
my
money
opinion,
on
no.
LSU. I'd put my money on LSU right now.
Yeah.
And if this is the critical game, they've got to win. Not only they've got to go to Athens. They got to go to Tuscaloosa. At least they got LSU at home. Where they got A&M this year? Is that a home game or away game? I think it's a home. I think it's a home game.
Yes.
Is it home game?
No, is it home for A&M?
Oh, that's what. Okay, A&M home. All right. Well. All right, that's all I got for today. I'm going. I got to get out of here. I got a meeting. I'll be there in a minute. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, honey, how you doing?
That's Phil Cobb for breakfast.
Phil Cobb. It's probably the hospital. I'll call back. I don't know though. Why did they pick the Ole Miss game as the most defining game? I thought it would be maybe Bama, but
I mean, can you circle their whole schedule and say every
Georgia Bulldogs,
golly.
Athens. Who do you think for A&M? What is the game for A&M? Is it the LSU game? What game do they have to have? Say they don't win it. They have a better year. That's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
But what game will really is it? They got Bama again at home.
Bama's
is it
at
that
home,
game? They
so,
beat
I mean,
Bama. The place goes crazy. They rush the field.
Yeah, it's hard to not pick Bama this year, especially with it being at home. I would say maybe LSU would be second, but I think Bama at home. We get to play Tennessee, which is going to be fun, but I don't think that game really, it's not like a big, like if we win or lose, big deal. I think if we beat, we lose 3 or 4 games and we beat Alabama, that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. Do you know, I looked it up too, and I've got it. I hadn't read they had all the little bites and bits of the article. But again, for Ohio State, it was Michigan.
Oh, no question.
The defying game. Yeah. What happened last year? What's going on? Michigan's taking over the Big Ten, winning 2 in a row.
Well, that game determines if Jason Day has a job or not. I mean, not Jason Day.
I agree. If he loses that
he
one,
had no argument for me. I'm going to tell you, if he loses to Michigan, he'll be gone.
Yeah, even if he goes 11-1,
yeah,
he's probably. He's probably still going to be fired for that one loss is Michigan.
Yeah, because the last 2 games, it really shocked me. To be honest with you, I haven't winning it all, and you got the sports announcers that have done it for their whole lives. Have gone and watched them practice. They've watched them play a game. They're going, "This is the most talented team in college football," and it showed up. Now that team that played Georgia. That's the real. That team looked for the real. That's like we thought they would look, and
they still gave it away with a gift touchdown. Guy falls down. How do you fall down?
Yeah, that was a great game. That was the national championship football game right there, and it's going to be interesting. I can't wait, man. College football, cannot wait. Baseball now will get shifted into baseball. We'll finish up with the Final Four. The Sweet 16, then the Final Four. Hopefully the SEC schools will do well. How many SEC schools do we got at now? Arkansas is in it, Alabama, Tennessee. That's the 3 in it, correct?
That's it.
And I think there's another conference that got 3 in it, too.
Big East.
Big East has got 3. How many's the Big Ten? 1?
1.
And ACC, anybody left?
Miami.
Yeah, Miami looks pretty good now.
Miami's very good.
Yeah.
Very athletic.
They got Houston.
Yeah. Ooh. Is that
Houston,
Friday?
Miami.
Oh, yeah, look forward to that. All right, tomorrow. We'll hopefully have Dr. Ward on. Mark McLeod will talk a lot about the Florida Gators. Baseball is doing pretty well. Basketball didn't do very well. Spring football cranked up throughout the Southeastern Conference. We'll be starting hitting that. We want you guys to have a great day. David's got a great show lined up for you this afternoon, the Underdog Show. Make sure you leave it right here. Then we got Feinbaum after that. We'll be back. John, it's good to see you. Glad to be back. Ethan, thank you so much for coming in. Jim, thank you so much. We got you Friday?
Yes.
Ethan, you coming back? You out?
Whatever you need.
I need you the rest of the week. All right, we're out. Get out to Rudy's Barbecue. Have a great time. Thank you guys so much for listening. Legendary ESPN Northwest Florida. ESPN Northwest Florida. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
You like boiled hot dogs? Why not just throw it on a frying pan or in a toaster oven or something even, you know?
You know the way boiled hot dogs look, though?